So for this webinar, I'm going to be designing the drilling section for a semi-narrow vein stope. So what I'll do is I'll open up a new project. Stope 147, that's from one of my previous data sets. I can change these sections depending on the mining convention for the mine. I'll leave that as is. I'll import the files that are required, so I'll bring in all of them. So my levels, surrounding stopes, and the stope I'm drilling. Change the color for easier visual. So now I can see all my solids or wireframes in the project. Now I've got to classify them. So the stope, that'll be my stope limit. All stopes is going to be my ore contacts, and then the level is going to be the void. Alright, once I've done that, I'll probably toggle transparency so it's a bit easier to see. Now I'm going to put a reference line in from which the reference line is for the drill rig to drill from. So what I can do is I'll click on that, and then I'll choose a line of elevation. So I can do it multiple ways or from top view. So I'll just choose the elevation, so somewhere in the middle there. And then so I'm going to be drilling this in that direction. Start from the edge there, go sort of parallel to the stope shape. Ref line 1. So I've got my reference line, got my stope shape, I'm ready to drill. So what I'll go is I'll go into create ring sets. As a default scenario is created for me, I can rename it if I want. Now I'll use the automate function. So this will be the create new ring set function. So this will automatically generate some holes, rings for me and holes. So I'll use the scenario, call this slot. I'll select the drill rig I want. As you can see, it's already starting to create rings for me. So for the slot, I'm going to be using a 1.2 meter burden. I can offset it if I want. I can either go perpendicular to the ref line. So for my drilling of in orientation, or a custom ESI. So I'll probably go custom ESI and go 90 degrees, so that it's following the stope geometry. We'll probably go 90 holes because it's a slot. So I'm happy with that. I can either I can offset the rings by a meter, or probably go half a meter offset from the start of the ref line, so somewhere there. So that's good. 89mm holes, that's what I'm going to be using. The hole length's probably maximum 35. My stope is probably similar height, much smaller than that. So my longest hole is 20 meters, so 35 is good. It also depends on the drilling your rig capability, but I'll keep it there. Total spacing, I'll probably use 1.5 because it's a slot ring. Relative rotation is your loop direction, so I'll probably keep it 25 degrees, so it's looking towards the dip angle of the stop. And then I probably go the sweep angle is how far the rig will drill the hole, so I can probably reduce that to -60. This is one way you can sort of limit how you want to drill your holes, or how far you want to drill your holes, so you can go ahead and increase that. You can either select parallel holes, it'll try to, depends on if it can, it will try to do parallel holes where possible. Right, so now what I'll do is I'll also go pivot interval unrestricted, so it can drill however way. And then I'll select charge, ring delta, yep, that's good. Primers, I'll probably use a Pentax D and Icon. Okay, off we go. Alright, so now it's done the initial slot ring, put in the slot rings for me. Now I'm going to put a slot in there, so I'm using the middle ring for the slot. So here I've created this slot. I can modify it if I want to. Just show you, like, if I want to make it smaller or bigger. But this is my slot. It's a 2 by 2.4 meter slot, so 2 meter by 2.4. Okay, I'll use that, so I'll put that in. Then I can sort of check if the drill can fit that in. Oh, nicely. And probably move it a bit. That's good. I can make those modifications if I want. Probably here it's better. Yep, it's good. Cool. Once that's done, what will happen, I'll also check. Here I can check the slot where, if it's positioned the right way I want it, so it's good. I can also see the holes here. So it's so the ring 2 and 4, that's ring 2 and 4. This is within the slot, so what I'll do is I'll just delete them so that I can recreate them with some fanning them in a way that I can reel them into that slot. And then what I can do is with the slot ring, I can explode it, so I can create multiple rings for that slot. So as you can see, it's created multiple slot rings for me. Now the other thing is that the ring 3 still has the whole slot, so I'm gonna just go ahead and delete that. So that's done. Now I'm gonna rename my rings. It's good. So ring 4 has got my shot holes, or the void holes. So what I'll do is I'll start by adding some holes in. Now I can use those circles, add some in, so I want 1.5, so I already have 1.5, so I go 1.8 as well, so I can show that in. Let's change the diameter for them. This one will probably go 1.5, just closer to the slot. I can sort of that out a bit. Yep, it's good. Now I can just keep on adding holes. See, completely customizable. You can even stab the football if you want. done for me. I probably get rid of that. Oh, yep, that's good. Alright, now what I'll do is I'll probably do the dice the rings in, dice the holes in for ring 6 and 2. So with this one I'm going to show my middle ring. 4 and 5, so 4 is my middle ring, so that's where you can see, so that I can dice them in. I'll do that for ring 2 as well. It's done. Now I'm just going to check that the drilling is all good. I can renumber my holes as well. It's done. That's my slot done. And let's have a look. If you want, you can use that this 3D view to see if it's diced it in to the slot. Looks good. With the charges, we can change that later on, but for this one, I'll just leave it as is. Now what I'll do is I'll add my back rings. So to do that, what I'll do is there's multiple ways you can do it. For me, what I do is I cut my slot, cut my solid through the for the slot. So what I can do with this one is I probably add another ring after. I know it's that's sort of going to be my blast radius, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my solid, split my solid by ring 8. Oh, and then I'm just going to get rid of that ring. Cool. All right, so now I've got my slot, and I've got my back rings. Now I'm gonna drill my back rings. Now with the back rings, I'll probably do do a couple of stand-up rings and then follow the stand-up rings through. So what I'll do is I'll create a new ring set. With this one, I'll probably keep that as a or contact so that my stand-up rings don't touch that. So I'll use that, and then this one I'll use that as a stop limit. I can rename them as well. So that's my stop limit. and that's my or contact. I don't want to touch it. So I will create a new ring set, existing scenario. The reason for this is so that I can sort of use adjacent ring option, so I can see where I'm drilling the holes and for the back rings, same ref line, but the back rings, same drill, up holes. And what I'll do is I'll probably offset that from by 9 meters. That's sort of and then in the direction. Take probably use my pattern to 1.8 to start off with. This is probably going to be 0.2, 0.1. This is my stand-up ring. So what I'll do is I will probably start off 25-degree down and then work my way. As you can see here, I'll probably go up to 85 and reduce it to 4 rings. That's sort of my stand-up rings, which you can completely see. Good. All right, cool. Then what I'll do is I will probably offset it by 1 meter. With the toe spacing, I'll probably increase that to 2.3 meter toe spacing. And also you can see, yep, it's sort of following what I want. Same settings for these ones as well. What I can do is also I can save that, so I can save my parameters. So if I go back ring fanning, stand up, I can save that setting. I can use it for other projects later on if they have the similar geometry. They'll use that. Hit OK. I'll just check how it looks. Right, so that looks alright to me. And I can sort of see in 3D as well. Now if I hit adjacent rings, it will show me the rings for the slot, and I can see, as you can see in this section, you can see where in the section you're sort of are, so that you know, okay, at the top, how far am I from ring, or from what we think it's going to be blasted, so 2.6, that's fine. Alright, so now what I'll do is I'll add some more rings in for the back side. So what I'll do is go right click on the BR and then append rings. So what I'll do is I'll probably go 2.3 meter pattern buttons, and I can sort of see I'll probably go 85 degrees. Yep. And I can also see the toe space burden circles. So that's sort of nicely done for me. I can probably later on add another ring at the back, but I'll keep it there. Minimum toe spacing, probably increase that to 2.7. It's good. If I will still keep that or contact offset. If I want, I can get rid of it. It's up to you. I'll just keep that. So now I can either go alternating holes or not, depending on what essentially does. It alternates the holes, as you can see. Alright, that's good. Text these icons, same parameters for the priming. Okay, that's good. Now I can go ahead and add another ring to this one. So all I do is probably go there, ring before, after. didn't create a ring for me. Now I can sort of move this around. If I want to go 90 degrees, I can also change that down to 90. Yes, and then probably because of this burden, probably squeeze him in. Oh, yep, that's good. That's what I want. All right, so all that's done. I can also check if my toe spacings are good. So 2.7. I can make any modifications here, and if I want to, say, for example, increase that here, increase that. Depending, that's completely customizable and up to you. Cool. So that's my ring set done in 20 minutes. Now what I can do is I can also use my reports. I have already done some templates for it, but I'll just quickly show you how the report template works. Say for example, this is a report template. I can modify, scale up or down depending on what I want. I'll probably scale this one down a bit so I can see a bit better. Depending on what arrangements are, I can make it bigger, and then I can also select like I can add any text I want, and also this option is complete, and this ring page color offset is completely customizable. So if I go there, I can go remote drilling if I want to, and then in the settings I've got for contact remote drilling at 5 meters. So that will work. So save that. So if I go report color, it will show me the remote drilling. So thank you for your time.